Oh boy. So my previous NTE video got more attention than I anticipated. I've had a handful of people in the comments of said video sharing some interesting takes on a topic that needs to be talked about more. Now I know that I didn't do the best of clarifying certain parts of my opinion, so I'll make sure to do better this time. For those of you who haven't seen the video in question, I was bringing awareness to the sexualization of Nanally, and I talked about how Hada confirmed in Update 1.1 that she is indeed a minor and people were not happy with me. For those that don't know, people have posted videos of them going on dates with Nanally. Hada gave her outfits such as her school uniform and casual outfit she wears in the apartment and making it way too easy to see her underwear, and it is not okay. I repeat, it is not okay. And this time I'm going to dive deeper into this controversy I dug up like treasure. Now I'll level with the now over 40 people who disliked the video, and half of the bad comments I got. First of all, I want to talk about the people who made videos of them going on dates with Nanally. Those videos were made before the confirmation of her minor status. For those that don't know, there was no official direct info within the game that can be found that explicitly states she was a minor before 1.1. There were only a couple hints sprinkled throughout the main story quest dialogue, so it could have been easy to miss. That makes sense, I suppose. Now, I'm going to give these people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they labeled it as dates, but they personally didn't see it as such. There are parental and child dynamics where a mom might take their son out and call it a mommy-son date, and same with a daughter or a non-binary individual. Titling videos as such does not necessarily mean anything under the surface, but we cannot just turn a blind eye to the potential of something beneath said surface. Now, I did some digging to see if Hada made it clear she was underage before 1.1 update, because maybe I just missed something, and lo and behold, I did not. There wasn't much to find, however, like I mentioned before, there was a couple hints. And when I say a couple, I mean it literally. There were only 2 dialogue cutscenes where a client from Avon refers to Nanally, Sakiti, and Edgar as children.
As I emphasized, this is critical. Don't brush me off with domesticated oddities or children.
And then Hotari during the auction quest when she calls them kids when telling Daffodil to babysit them.
Watch these kids for Adler, and don't let them crash the place while we're gone. We'll be back in a bit.
Now, I'll be fair here. They were hints at best. Because I'm 30 and I have a baby face and constantly get mistaken for someone much younger, and people double my age would still refer to me as a kid even though I am an adult. And you know what? If 1.1 never happened and that's all we have is just 1.0 as a hypothetical here, and it was just those 2 hints, I still think the natural response when we heard the Ibon client and Hotori say that is thinking, oh yeah, they are definitely kids, look how they act, it's clear. And yet that isn't the case for some of you since you're so passionate about saying I'm wrong. I'm just kind of confused and genuinely want to understand. But you know what? I'll level with you again. Some people could totally end up seeing that dialogue and look at Nanally, who is clearly a little older than Sakiti and Edgar, and think, oh, maybe because that lady and Hotori are much older than Nanally, in comparison, they just perceive her as a kid even if she isn't. But still, it's very clear to anyone with critical thinking skills that the youngest people who work with Hotori are all kids, and yes, that includes Nanally. So yes, the videos people made going on dates with Nanally and being romantic with her were posted before the official verbal confirmation, but the hints were there, and it's very obvious, and even after I provided the information she is indeed a minor, you are trying to tell me I'm wrong? Help me understand, please. How is that okay? The decent human response I'd imagine is, oh damn, she is a kid, maybe it is weird to sexualize her even if she isn't real. Now think how parents, and even just gamer parents, must feel seeing that in the game, and then looking at their kid and being worried someone might think that's okay, because it's constantly reinforced in anime and some anime gacha games, which can and has led to people with either pre-existing disorders, or just an average person to either get confused, or it's validating pre-existent subconscious attractions and urges. Hada thinks it's okay to treat characters like Nanally this way, because they are based in China. And just to give a brief explanation of why I bring up the fact that they're based in China, it's because the age of consent in China is 14 years old. And that has caused a lot of problems within their society, but I at least just want to state that, just to give some context. Now, what is wrong with having the perspective of it not being okay to treat kids like that, fake or not? I don't know what to tell you, bestie. The facts are the facts, and I'm just a girl with a commentary channel only craving knowledge. If you're offended by my genuine concern for something that could potentially cause someone to live life like it's an anime and go after real kids, then I guess I'll call you Cinderella and grab that pretty glass slipper for you because bestie, the shoe fits. You can marry the prince now. I love that for you. But for real, that stuff does happen. Psychosis is a major problem for a lot of people that are chronically online, and there are many cases of anime and games reinforcing that mental state that predators have. And like, I get it. It's a heavy thing to say. At least it feels heavy to me. I know how controversial this all may sound to some people who are just so desensitized to it, I suppose. People who have had it so normalized in their minds. I get why people are getting offended. Now, are the people who made those videos only wanting to showcase what's available in the game in terms of the bond system? Who's to say? None of us can say without a shadow of a doubt what the intentions were, but I urge you to use common sense. We don't know those creators personally, and knowing someone parasocially does not mean anything at the end of the day, and that includes me. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. I will give those channels the benefit of the doubt because they are most likely just showing people what the game is like and aren't thinking of anything past that, and that's awesome. I love that for them. I do need to apologize for one thing that the first person that commented said, and they were correct. I'm sorry for not making it clear enough as to who I was shaming and jokingly telling I'd call Chris Hansen on. It was meant to be lighthearted but also tough love, and it was directed at the predators who use the "it's just pixels, it's just fictional" as an excuse to harm and groom real kids, and they justify it with such mentality, which brings up the topic of gooner mentality yet again. So yes, to the one person who said it wasn't relevant, it is, because it's all connected if you take a minute to step back and see the bigger picture. I am working on improving my script writing so I can better clarify things in the future, and I'm starting with this video. I also feel the need to reiterate this, but in my previous video, I am not talking about the people gooning over the obvious adults in any game or media. Do you, boo? I do it too. But you need to understand that you are treading on shaky ground when you start gooning over childlike characters. I'm sorry, but it's always going to be kinda sus to any decent human being with common sense. Those of you who thought it was a great idea to attack me, give half-baked arguments, and discredit the solid logic I tried presenting to you in my comments, this safe space I'm trying to build is not for you, and that is perfectly fine. By the way, I did delete some of the comments that were getting kinda nasty, and were not productive to the discussion. It's fine if you don't agree with some points. I know that I didn't clarify enough. But when I'm trying to have a discussion with you on it, shutting down what I'm saying and then coming up with some kind of counter argument that doesn't really go anywhere and doesn't provide any kind of evidence, I don't see how that's productive. I'm not here to spread hate. I'm here to have fun, play games, and bring light to the truths of the gaming world in all avenues, whether it's good or bad. I'm here to bring awareness, spread love, and provide education where I can. That is what my channel is about. That is what I am about. And hi, my name is Rin Setsuna, if you're new here. Welcome to the channel. I love games, and I love psychology and commentary. It's great to have you, by the way. Just figured I'd throw that in. But I do think that is it for this video. I wanted to thank those who decided to hear me out for this video, as well as trying to hear me out for the first video. I know it's very controversial to talk about, and I know a lot of people have their own opinions on fictional characters and how we utilize them. I know it is also important for the people with the pedophilia disorders to utilize such media to help with those urges that they have instead of inflicting it on real people. And I was reading things on Reddit about that kind of stuff and just trying to take in as much as I can information-wise, which then also made me realize how even more unequipped I am to talk about these topics further. But I still felt a need to at least make this follow-up video and maybe try to clarify my thoughts more, because I know I did not do it that well. As always, keep making beautiful wishes, and may your heart be your guiding key. I'm gonna get back to making Kingdom Hearts videos. Stay safe and stay aware. Bye, guys.